From the scientific point of view, when Bible describes the creation of heaven and earth, we don't necessarily need to say that it was unscientific. If you consider the fact that how it is written and to whom God was speaking to people who had no idea, no knowledge about universe and about anything. All they knew was Earth, nothing else. They didn't know anything about the sun, nothing. And also, it was written in a poetic way, like when it says there was evening, there was morning, the first day, and so on. Like it didn't have to say these things. It could have just stuck to uh, raw facts, but it was probably just to make it more readable, um, and to reinforce faith, because Bible is all about faith and not necessarily about scientific facts. But if you were God and you would still want to convey some sort of information that was not completely wrong, then you would have to simplify it. And so, if I try to put it in a more scientific way, then it would sort of sound like this. So, God created the heaven and earth. Earth reference to the matter, or to the initial energy of the Big Bang. From a single point, there was just energy, and it started to expand. The heaven is a word for space. So the earth was without form and void. So the energy during the initial fraction of the second of the Big Bang, uh, all the matter and energy was without form. It was void matter. It was deep. It was void. There was nothing, and there was all darkness. Technically, it was so dense that there was no space in between, and so no photons were able to travel because there was no space through which they would travel. And so, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters, basically saying, and God was there, and He had it, and He was handling all this. And God said, "Let there be light," and so He was expanding the space, and photons started to travel from one place to another. And God saw that the light was good, and He separated the light from the darkness. He called the light day, and the darkness He called night. So we could see even now the separation when we see the cosmic microwave background. Uh, we can see some brighter spots and darker spots, which kind of indicates that the light was not always uniform, but there was some sort of separation. And God said, "Let there be expanse in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters." All those gases start to have their own gravity, and they start to attract each other and gather into one place and then another place. And God separated one water from another water using this expanse. So, let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters to separate the waters. And in the next sentence, it's basically saying the same thing, except it's using the words up, under, and above the expanse. So if you should be standing on one of these big gassy giants, you would find that they have their own gravity. You're being pulled into this place, and you would be able to kind of look up and see that there is big space between you and some another place of that is also this water. Uh, Saying water because it's all we're still talking about hydrogen, because this is like literally the initial point in the universe, and so the only thing that existed was hydrogen, and uh, if you think about it, hydrogen is basically like water, except it doesn't have oxygen. But yeah, and so in a nutshell, after this, God, it just says on verse 14. So I just have to swap two paragraphs, and if I just swap these two paragraphs, then it will be all in a good chronological order. So from verse 14, basically the fourth day, he happened before the third day. So let there be lights in the expanse of heavens to separate the day from the night. So all these bigger blobs of hydrogen started to ignite, create nuclear fusion, and uh, they became the signs for the years and days and nights and so on. And after that, the earth sprouted vegetation another day, and after that, the waters started to swarm with living creatures, above the sea, yeah, and so on. Yeah, that's it. And Bible talks more like mentions expansion, not just here, but also somewhere inside in the middle of the Bible, when it says that I expand the space as like a cloth over the table or something like that. So it is not necessarily unscientific, but so I do believe that Bible is a guidance for life, and certainly we should take it seriously, not because somebody said so, but because primarily Bible is written from the point of faith, and it wants to inspire faith in people. Thank you for watching.